Democratic
popular
representatives
podcast. What is your life
and
experience?
decide. I'm not the one deciding. The Democrats did. The Democrats decided they're not going
You
to
are
listen.
deciding.
The American people did.
You're having
listen
your
to this.
party. You're having
5 minutes. 5 minutes after the Meidas Touch stream started, there were 100,000 people watching the waiting screen. The waiting screen had 100,000 people watching. I mean, how many people watch your show? Not as many as that. People want to know the truth.
News.
I think one thing we can agree on is that MAGA bootlickers never get tired of defending their ideologies, no matter what the facts are. Here we have Geraldo Rivera. Yes, that Geraldo Rivera, the man who reportedly left Fox News after what he described as a toxic relationship with the network, now over at News Nation, apparently still carrying water for presidential tradition when it suits him. And on the other side, Adam Mockler from Meidas Touch, one of the fastest growing progressive channels on YouTube right now, and honestly it's not hard to see why. So what's this about? The People's State of the Union versus Trump's actual State of the Union. The question of whether boycotting Trump's speech is somehow disrespectful, or, and stay with me here, perhaps the most patriotic thing one could do. Because here's what gets me when we're at a point where simply choosing not to watch a speech becomes controversial. That's where we are. This debate matters because it exposes everything about how political respect gets weaponized. And I genuinely cannot wait to watch this unfold. If you love watching me unravel disasters like this, please click that subscribe button.
State of the Union. This is the Democrats' alternative. Sponsored by Move On and the Meidas Touch Network. Is this the right move? Let's discuss with a member of the Meidas Touch Network, Adam Mockler, and News Nation correspondent at large, Geraldo Rivera. Here's the part I don't get, Adam. What is the sell on, I don't even want you to listen to the President of the United States as he presents his concerns to the United States people and the Congress? How do you sell that to people?
It's very charitable to say that Donald Trump would be listing his concerns to the American people and not just airing out his grievances and lying for 2 to 3 hours. Here's my response. Unprecedented moments demand unprecedented responses. The tariffs that Donald Trump put on, those have been unprecedented. The way that ICE has deployed to cities across the country, unprecedented. Trump's war against the Supreme Court that he just started, very unprecedented. I mean, he called for the arrest of the governor of my state, J.B. Pritzker. So if you're going to argue that Democrats are doing something unprecedented, then that's just not convincing to me. I think that Democrats shining a light on people like the Epstein victims or people who lost their health care or some of the small businesses that were ruined by said tariffs is a good use of time. It's a good use of the attention of the American people.
Geraldo, how do you see it?
I think that that is disrespect disguised as being hip. I think that there are 2 days a year when we support the president regardless of his party. One is when he is inaugurated. The other is during the State of the Union address.
Oh, Geraldo. Disrespect disguised as being hip. That's what you're going with? That's the argument. Right, let me process this for a moment. So Mockler just laid out, quite methodically I might add, the tariffs, the ICE deployments, the attacks on the judiciary, calling for the arrest of a sitting governor. And Geraldo's response is essentially but tradition. That's it, that's the whole thing. And here's what kills me, right? Geraldo knows better. This is a man who spent decades in journalism. He was embedded in war zones. He's seen actual authoritarian behavior up close. And yet when it comes to Trump, suddenly we must respect the office. The same office Trump allegedly used to reportedly pressure state officials over election results. The same man who, according to multiple reports, sat watching television whilst his supporters stormed the Capitol. But no, 2 days a year we're supposed to pretend none of that happened. Inauguration and State of the Union. Those are the sacred days, apparently. And I love how Mockler doesn't flinch here. He's talking about Epstein victims, people losing healthcare, small businesses crushed by tariff policies, real human consequences, real stories. And the counter-argument is what? Tradition? Decorum? This is the fundamental disconnect, isn't it? One side is talking about actual policy impact on actual human beings. The other side is clutching pearls about proper respect.
When, as the Constitution requires, he gives you, he or hopefully one day she, gives you what the state of the republic is. And to suggest that because a president lies, you're going to boycott the State of the Union, really? That when the president lies, what president? The Republican, the Democrat? Don't politicians bend facts constantly, particularly when they're addressing big crowds? I think that it is rude and violates the pluribus unum, out of many one. It is in the Constitution. We all should stand together and celebrate our institutions.
Give me a break. You're going to cite the Constitution and the peaceful transfer of power, the inauguration, as something that we should respect when we're about to listen to the president, who was the first person to break that peaceful transfer of power after people were chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," because of his election fraud lies. And about 4 years ago at the State of the Union, Marjorie Taylor Greene heckled Joe Biden when he was speaking about his deceased son, Beau Biden. So the Republicans have brought us down to new depths day by day by day.
So it is only the Republicans?
Yes, Donald
Trump. It is only the Republicans. President Clinton was in the midst of impeachment when he delivered the State of the... Wait a second. Do you remember?
Did Joe Biden post an AI photo of Obama as a gorilla?
President Clinton...
Hold on.
President Clinton...
Hold on, I can't
President
hear.
Clinton... President Clinton was in the midst of impeachment when he delivered the State of the Union. So according to Meidas Touch, why was President Clinton allowed to speak? What bigger anchor could he have around his neck than impeachment?
Nobody's saying that Trump isn't allowed to speak, but we're saying that we don't have to listen to Trump when he's speaking. Nobody's saying he's not allowed to speak. We're just saying we don't have to listen. And it's a little bit different what Clinton did than Donald Trump deploying ICE to cities, killing U.S. citizens, calling for the arrest of people. And again, spare me like the Constitution when Donald Trump was the one who stepped all over it repeatedly 5 years ago.
So wait a second, buddy. Are you the one who gets to decide? You get to decide who we should listen to and who we should not listen to?
No, 40 senators, 50 senators,
what is your life
representatives
experience?
Decided. 50
I know you
Democratic
have a popular
representatives
podcast. What is your life
decide. I'm not the one deciding. The Democrats did. The Democrats decided they're not going to listen. The American people did.
You're having
listen
your
to
party.
This. 5 minutes. 5 minutes after the Meidas Touch stream started, there were 100,000 people watching the waiting screen. The waiting screen had 100,000 people watching. I mean, how many people watch your show? Not as many as that. People want to know the truth.
Fox News dwarfs your audience. Does that mean we should all listen and agree to what's being said on Fox News?
I'm just giving you the numbers, buddy. I'm just giving you the numbers.
Well, you're giving me your
I think that this is the bar. This is the bar. The person who wins the midterms is going to be the party that can convince people in a lot of tight spaces that they can do something better. I don't think which one is worse is going to get it done for people. I think there's exhaustion on that. So does this help the Democrats in that cause or not? We'll see. We'll see what the reactions are to it. Adam, I appreciate you making the case. Geraldo, Rivera, I like that you guys were calling each other buddy, but you didn't mean buddy. You were just saying that word, but you didn't mean it. I know
it's all respect. All respect.
Guys, take care. You're always welcome here.
I respect that.
Everybody disagrees with decency here. Otherwise, you get these big snow shoveling hands coming at you. I'll talk to you later.
Right. Can we talk about the numbers for a second? Because Geraldo tried to pull that Fox News dwarfs your audience line, and I nearly spat out my tea. Here's what he conveniently glossed over. Meidas Touch reportedly became the fastest growing political channel on YouTube in early 2025. Fastest growing. And Mockler just told him 100,000 people watching a waiting screen. A waiting screen before anything even started. And Geraldo's comeback is Fox News is bigger. Mate, Fox News has been around for nearly 3 decades with billions in infrastructure behind it. Meidas Touch was founded by 3 brothers with a camera and righteous indignation. The fact that they're even being mentioned in the same breath should terrify the establishment media. But here's what really gets me. Geraldo left Fox News, didn't he? Back in 2023. Reportedly citing a toxic relationship with certain colleagues, said his ideology didn't fit anymore. So he knows what that machine does. He's experienced it firsthand. And yet here he is, still carrying water for the same narratives, still deflecting from policy discussions with, what about Clinton's impeachment? Clinton in 2026. That's the comparison we're making. Meanwhile, the actual argument, ICE killing US citizens, tariffs crushing working families, the systematic dismantling of oversight, that just evaporates into whataboutism. This is why alternative media matters, isn't it? Because someone has to actually address what's happening rather than what happened 30 years ago.
People want to know the truth.
Fox News dwarfs your audience. Does that mean we should all listen and agree to what's being said on Fox News?
I'm just giving you the numbers, buddy. I'm just giving you the numbers.
Well, you're
All
giving
right,
me
listen.
your
I
parochial take.
think that this is the bar. This is the bar. The person who wins the midterms is going to be the party that can convince people in a lot of tight spaces that they can do something better. I don't think which one is worse is going to get it done for people. I think there's exhaustion on that. So does this help the Democrats in that cause or not? We'll see. We'll see what the reactions are to it. Adam, I appreciate you making the case. Geraldo, Rivera, I like that you guys were calling each other buddy, but you didn't mean buddy. You were just saying that word, but you didn't mean it. I know
It's all respect. All respect.
Guys, guys, take care. You're always welcome here.
I respect that.
Everybody
Very
disagrees with
innovative, and
decency
I
here.
appreciate
Otherwise, you get these big snow shoveling hands coming at you. I'll talk to you later.
And that's how it ends. All respect. I respect that. The performative handshake after the verbal sparring match. Very civilized, very proper, very hollow. Look, I've watched a lot of these exchanges. A lot. And what strikes me about this one isn't what was said, it's what wasn't addressed. Geraldo walked away without ever actually engaging with a single policy point Mockler raised. Not one. The tariffs? Ignored. The ICE situation? Sidestepped. The judiciary attacks? Completely absent from his rebuttals. And that's the playbook, isn't it? You don't win the argument, you just survive it. You throw out tradition and respect, and hope nobody notices you never actually defended anything substantive. But here's what gives me hope. Mockler didn't let it slide. The audience didn't let it slide. And increasingly, people are refusing to accept deflection as discourse. This is why I genuinely believe we're at an inflection point. Legacy media figures like Geraldo, they're used to controlling the frame. They're used to saying Fox News is bigger, and that being the end of the conversation. But it's not anymore. People are seeking out alternatives. They're questioning narratives. They're doing the work. So my challenge to you, yeah? Stay critical. Not cynical, critical. There's a difference. Question what you're being told and who benefits from you believing it. Speaking of people who can't handle being questioned, you should absolutely watch what happened when a British journalist pushed back on Ben Shapiro. The man practically imploded on camera. Links right there.